right, Chelsea looks set for a busy end to the window. I mean, James, we're still in the same situation as we were, a few weeks ago, that there are so many of those big players that really need to be sold.
There are, and sometimes we don't mention the likes of Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell because they've been frozen out of the first-team picture for so long. Chelsea want to make even more signings this summer, but that is dependent on players leaving the football club. I think if Christopher Nkunku and Nicholas Jackson are able to find permanent exits from the club, then things could accelerate when it comes to incomings. We've already mentioned the likes of Xavi at RB Leipzig and Alejandro Garnacho. With Nicholas Jackson, there is plenty of interest in signing him because there's such a lack of good number nines right now, proven number nines. I'm not saying he's reached his peak, but he's a player who scored 24 goals in 2 seasons at Chelsea in the league. A decent, encouraging start for him. So I think if they can get good money for him, and they know they want something like £70 million because they look at the fees that have been paid for the likes of Ekitike, they look at what's happened to Sesko, they look at the Strand Larsen-Wissa situation right now. So while some people may look at the asking price and think that's incredible, but when you look at the market at the moment, you can understand why he'd be somebody that they'd look to try and sell for that sort of money. We can see what they've done already this summer. It's been a really successful summer for Chelsea in terms of sales, nearly £280 million. I expect it to go north of 300, maybe 350 million by the time Chelsea are done. They seem to have a really good knack. Yes, there'll be arguments that they're sometimes bringing players in, getting rid of them without giving them a chance, or maybe bringing in players in who are at the similar level to players they have right now and moving them on. Maybe you could say that with Noni Madueke coming in for £50 million, or being sold for £50 million, them signing Gittins for £50 million, maybe similar level of player. They seem to have a knack of really getting good money for their players. They'll struggle to get good money for the likes of Sterling and Chilwell, but for the other players they have there right now, I mean, Bayern Munich want to sign Christopher Nkunku. You can see they're big players, not in the first-team picture. They're still big clubs that want to sign them.
Yeah, obviously Chelsea is so good at selling, that's evident from what we've just seen. But if you are the likes of Raheem Sterling and you are the likes of Ben Chilwell, how are they going to be feeling about this situation? Because, like we say, we haven't seen them in a Chelsea shirt for ages now. And surely they will, I don't know, would you lower your wage demands? Because obviously they will be on a lot of money just to get out of the club.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be panicking because they was in this situation probably last year and the year before, possibly. For Raheem, look, well, I said it last week, I believe that there's a loan move potentially into a London club. I only see that transfer, to be fair. I don't see Fulham, West Ham paying £20 million, what Chelsea want. I believe it would be a loan with maybe an obligation to buy. But yeah, I believe he wants to stay in London. For Ben Chilwell, I'm surprised that no one's took him. Everyone needs a left-back. Everyone needs 2 good left-backs. I'm surprised not many other clubs have been lining up for him. But again, wages, does he want to take a pay cut? What are Chelsea asking for? It's all those questions that are unknown to us. But yeah, I don't think they'll be panicking just yet. I believe they'll both get out. But it's just where is the question.
Ends up in the Premier League. James, Alejandro Garnacho touched on him briefly. I think he's made it pretty clear that he just only wants Chelsea, but currently the clubs are quite far apart in valuation. But I mean, if he stays at Man United, then what?
I think we'll get a compromise on this over the course of the next few days. United want £50 million. Chelsea believe he's probably worth around half of that because of the situation he's in at Manchester United. Frozen out, not on the first-team picture. I know Ruben Amorim says that players will be reintegrated if they don't get a move, but that feels like a negotiation tactic. But Chelsea are in a situation where they will only make more signings if players depart for good money. And Chelsea have sold really well this summer, but they are faced with that UEFA restriction whereby they need to make a profit coming out this transfer window. So if they can get good money for Nkunku and Jackson, then I'd expect them to hit the push button on the deals for the likes of Xavi Simons and Garnacho. Garnacho remains committed to Chelsea. It looks like he only wants Chelsea. Chelsea's probably on his mind since January when it became clear that he's a long-term target for Chelsea. I do think it will happen. There'll have to be compromises from Manchester United when it comes to fee, as there will have to be compromise with Chelsea when it comes to the fees they're going to get for the likes of Nkunku and Jackson, who clearly aren't part of the first-team picture, and others as well.
Yeah, he only wants Chelsea. I don't blame him.
The Chelsea spoke to the players' agents on Tuesday. There was a direct contact between the agents of Fermin Lopez and Chelsea to discuss about the situation of the player, to ask how is the situation of Fermin Lopez, to understand the eventual contract details. So Chelsea wanted to be informed on the situation of Fermin Lopez. Why? Because at Barcelona there are many players in that position, and so Chelsea wanted to be informed. Something like, okay, how much is the salary? How is the contract situation? How is going at Barcelona? The player will be open to leaving or not? So just a conversation with the agents. At the moment there is no bid, but the conversation Chelsea agents of Fermin took place for a player who has always been one of the players monitored and appreciated by Chelsea. Then, at this time of the night, Tuesday night, still no bid on the table from Chelsea to Barcelona. Chelsea keep working for Xavi Simons, I can guarantee that. They remain in contact with people in charge of the deal. They remain in contact with Leipzig, so Chelsea keep working on that one. Garnacho is going to Chelsea. I maintain my position, so we just wait for the formal steps, but Garnacho, in my personal opinion, will be a Chelsea player. And so, working on this Fermin Lopez deal, not as a negotiation at the moment. So we have to tell you, especially in the final days, no, it's not about the scenario, it's about day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour. At the moment, just a contact with the agents. Then, if Chelsea will be serious, we'll let you know. While at the moment, there is still no green light to the Julio Enciso deal, Chelsea-Strasbourg, with Brighton because of the medical. It's not 100% collapsed yet, from what I'm hearing, but